Hey everyone, I'm going to talk today a little bit about commerce content strategy. This is something I've been doing for a long time now, helping e-commerce businesses, first of all, to work through this process that you can see outlined on my screen. So we really think about this process in three stages. And obviously there's a lot more to it than just the three stages on the page. We can get into a bit more detail about each one of those stages, but in very kind of simplistic terms, what we're looking to do here is to identify a set of transactional keywords that relate to the products that your business sells. So that's step one, because without an understanding of how people search for these products, it's very difficult to actually start to reverse engineer a website that really does a great job of attracting that traffic into the website and then converting that traffic over into customers. So step one is obviously about keyword research. Step two is taking all of that huge amount of data, and that data can be 100,000 lines of keyword data if you've got a very large store. We just looked at McMaster for a B2B website, and it's a website with 500,000 pages, I would assume, somewhere in that bracket. So huge amounts of keyword research would have gone into building that website and reverse engineering every step or every page on that website with some search, or with demand from the market or from customers, people actually outwardly searching for those products and services. So step one is going to get all that content together, go and identify how people actually search for your products. Step two is to take all that keyword research and then to perform something called a clustering analysis. And we've got a very specific tool inside our platform, which is designed specifically to do that job, to be able to help customers to be able to take huge volumes of the keyword data and then compress that keyword data down into kind of essentially the pages that their website must have if it wants to do a great job of attracting in the search from those keywords. So that keyword tool is really about understanding the intent behind the searches. It's about looking and grouping those keywords back together into logical article buckets or logical pieces of content that exactly align with how customers searches. So the objective here is to create just the right number of pages, not infinite pages. Not every keyword requires a page, and we're essentially trying to group them together based upon how Google thinks or how Google wants to actually, the content Google chooses to present to their customers. So that process also looks at intent, and intent is really critical for an e-commerce business. And it should form a really kind of key pillar inside your content strategy, is understanding really what are transactional intent keywords and what are informational intent keywords, and how can we actually break them down into those two buckets. Transactional content on one side, which is kind of people outwardly searching for, looking to buy something. And on the other side of it, we've got informational content where people are actually trying to learn something about how your products are sold. And if you think about an e-commerce business in that sense, you can really think about products and collection pages on one side and the transactional side of the business. And then you've got informational content that people are trying to understand, what they should do about a certain problem. So informational content becomes really key for businesses in, let's say supplement business or a health business, where actually at the very start of the journey, you need to understand what would I do, for instance, about stress, or what should you do about any different health problem that you've got? Obviously, you're going to go through an information finding process to actually identify the problem you have. And then you're going to move through into a solution stage where you're going to look at, okay, I have this problem. If I was looking for a solution to this problem, what would be the right solution? So businesses doing content marketing in that space are often focusing on the informational content that's going to attract large volumes of traffic in. And then they can talk that customer through the journey through to the point of conversion. And then the third step in our process is to then start to break that content down into pages and then start to produce content that highly reflects the way that the customer is searching. So over here, we've got a number of tools in terms of our writing step, our writing kind of section, whereby we can either start to make or create content for blog pages. We can build product pages, or we can build collection pages. And blog pages may break down into lots of different types of blogs. They could be long form blogs, it could be listicles, it could be, whatever it is you need to create. There's ways to go and create that content within inside our tool. Collection pages, we've got really specific builders to be able to help you to be able to convert clusters into collection pages and integrate that directly into your website. And then step three is product pages, really working closely with businesses to be able to define and improve their product pages. And that's improving the product titles, improving the meta descriptions, improving the meta titles, all of those kind of items that are really critical to building out highly effective, highly aligned pages with search that are going to attract lots of this kind of high intent traffic into your website. So in very simplistic terms, you can use our platform to be able to do all of those kind of items. But our process really starts with this idea of keyword research. So I'm going to show you through how we think about a keyword strategy. and how it breaks down from an SEO perspective, and then the process and the steps that you can use to actually create commerce content on our platform. So this is our keyword finder. It's a quite simple tool. You can input a keyword here. You can input either upload a CSV, or you can import, or you can use our keyword tools. You can enter a seed keyword here, and then you can go and run and look at a specific location of, for your keyword data. So that's going to give you data that's specific to that geolocation. For instance, if you wanted to look at the US, you would get US-based volumes back from that tool. So each one of these kind of keyword item or keyword searches, here you can see a very special, I'm looking at a specialty type of valve for a B2B supplier or B2B valve manufacturer. You can see diaphragm valves, knife valves. These are the keywords that came back from the search tools. And now what we're going to do is we've got the keyword data, we can actually start to cluster these keywords together. So in this instance, what we've produced is 15 or 16 different keyword projects, which we're then going to group them back together and create one large clustering event, which is going to take all of that data and it's going to cluster it into a single project. So we've got a very, very clear understanding about how, if we were going to reverse engineer all of these searches into pages, how would we then start to go and identify the collection pages that are required for this business? So I'm going to move to the next stage of the process for us, which is clustering. I'm going to show you a very small clustering project for type of valve or specialty valve. You can see here that we've produced the clustering analysis. We have volume, we have a total number of keywords inside the cluster, and we have a search intent column. And then we have the keywords that are inside that cluster. So you can see that actually inside this one, we have somewhere in the region of 20, maybe 46 different keywords and the volumes of those keywords inside that grouping. So now we know that this is a piece of informational content about a gate knife valve. There are 46 keywords in there. It's actually a product page about a gate knife valve. So a very specific type of valve. It's a product page, and here are all the keywords that need to be on that page. So from here, we can actually start to convert this clustering data over into product pages or over into collection pages or informational blog content. And we can almost start to use this as a distribution board, whereby we can say, okay, this needs to go on a specific workflow, and this is a product page. It needs to be converted over into a new product page on our website. This is a piece of informational content. It wants to go into a blog workflow. This is a piece of collection page content. It needs to go into a collection workflow. So from here, what we do is we then start to break down the problem into, let's say we want to go and look at a collection page. We will then want to move that one over into a template. We want to build a piece of collection page content. So here what we're able to do is then select from the list and then convert this over into a new template. And on that template, we can then start to build out that collection page. So you've got the line item here, which we're going to go and build. And this is all set up ready for the AI to go and run through that product. So we're able to take the top keyword that we've gathered from clustering. We'll then be able to convert that over into a line item in there, and then start to apply workflows to that to be able to go and create that content and move that back over into your store. So this is kind of an end-to-end process that takes the clustering data and then converts that back over into pages on your website. And then over here, what we have is an AI writer is how we produce informational content or convert the informational content or informational clusters that we've identified over into content. So our AI writer works by, first of all, taking the input data, which is from the clustering analysis, and then being able to convert that over into highly optimized SEO blog content, piece of blog content. So in this instance, we're taking a keyword, we're then analyzing what's inside search engines, and we're then able to build something that's designed to outperform what's currently ranking with inside search engines. So you can see on my screen right now, I'll just take an example of a lifetime value article we've written for a client. You can see we've written this one's scored at 83% out of 100. So this is a comparison between our piece of content and the content that's currently ranking inside search engines. So we've got 20 headings in the piece of content. The heading count should be 16 and 26. We have 81, so like 2 paragraphs under from a paragraph count and a word count of inside specification. We can see all the keywords that we've used and the density that's been used over here. So this piece of content is highly, highly optimized to go and rank for that specific keyword that we're targeting. So all of these content, certainly this type of content requires some kind of human involvement to go and add more value to that content and make sure it's absolutely perfect for your business. But certainly with a lot of the product and the action page content, it's ready to install in your blog, in your e-commerce store. can save you a huge amount of time. So really kind of these are the tools that we're using. What we're able to do is to actually run very kind of large SEO split tests on your product and your collection data. So from here, we're able to then build Looker Studios that are able to track the performance of your specific URLs that we've adjusted with our AI to be able to then track the performance through life. So for instance, let's say we go and adjust the meta description, the meta title of 500 pages that are on page 2 at the moment on Google. We're able then to track the performance of those 500 URLs and then make adjustments to those 500 until we really find a formula that works. And at that point, we're then able to convert, to then roll that strategy out throughout the rest of the product set and really drive dramatic improvements in click-through rate and positions. So that's really kind of an overview of how we think about e-commerce content strategy. We do a huge amount of different types of analysis to be able to provide you with the data that you need to be able to run an e-commerce strategy at scale. And then we've got the toolkit that really enables you to be able to scale that content creation for all the different types of e-commerce content creation that you require. So everything from blog content, collection page content, or rewriting thousands of product pages, even to the point of being able to extract, attributes from products. All of these kind of functionality and all these kind of toolkits are available to you to be able to use and to be able to, get as creative as you possibly can do about how you can think about your e-commerce strategy and use the tools to basically drive your business forward and improve your kind of search metrics. Ultimately, what we're trying to help businesses do is reduce their reliance upon paid acquisition. So you can trust the fact that your SEO is going to be more effective, and you can really get very kind of driven in terms of kind of a metric perspective about how you look at the SEO on your e-commerce store. So that's fundamentally what we're specialized in doing. I'd love to chat and show you in a bit more detail what we do, but please feel free to book some time with me, and I'd love to chat and do what we do. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.